students coming out again to protest in favor of climate action. This time in Aachen, in Germany, as you were saying, 20,000 students expected to take part in this protest from 16 different countries. The objective being to unite different groups of this movement from different countries, and they're all part of this overarching movement, the Fridays for Future movement. You may remember crowds taking to the streets across Europe, students skipping school and responding to Greta's call for action. Greta Thunberg, the 16-year-old Swedish activist who launched the movement. And I think you can say that over the past few months, the student protests have become a pivotal development in climate action. We saw that green parties across Europe made important gains in European Parliament elections, especially among young voters. Now, in recent weeks, we can say that the movement has lost some momentum. We don't see big crowds anymore like the ones that we used to see in Paris, Brussels, or Berlin. So this is a chance to revive the movement and to continue exerting pressure on European leaders. As you were saying, European leaders failed to approve a plan to make Europe carbon neutral by 2020. The majority of the bloc approved the plan, but a minority of countries from Eastern Europe, Poland, for example, which is a coal-producing country, said it would not support the plan unless they received compensation. So you can see that fossil fuels standing in the way of bolder climate action once again.
Very briefly, Valerie, you've been speaking about this demonstration. Of course, this is not an isolated event today. Another event is taking place on the sidelines of the student protest. Tell us a little bit about that, if you can.
So protests, happening at an open pit coal mine, the Garzweiler mine near Cologne. A group of activists from a group called Ende Gelände plans to blockade the mine and stop the machines that dig into the ground. I don't know if we're able to see some images of Garzweiler mine, but it's really quite something. It's a 48-kilometer wide mine. It's one of the biggest mines in Europe. And Germany really is having a hard time kicking its addiction to coal. It's still the first source of energy in the country. So you can imagine why these protesters, they have chosen Garzweiler mine to gather and voice their dissatisfaction with the continent's energy policy.